Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhoneBunch and today we are reviewing the Micromax Unite 2 A106 featuring Android 4.4 KitKat right out of the box, quad-core processor, 1 GB RAM, available for about Rs 8,000. On the right of the device you can see the volume rocker as well as the power lock and unlock button. Both are sturdy but don't offer good feedback. At the top you have your 3.5 audio jack and the micro USB data syncing and charging port. Moving to the left of the device, there is absolutely nothing. You can see the matte finish of the mystic grey color. At the bottom, you can see a space to open the back cover and you have the primary microphone right there as well. Now, if you move to the back, you have a 5 megapixel autofocus camera with a single LED flash. It is capable of recording 1080p videos. At the bottom, you have a speakerphone. Its grill is slightly raised, but it doesn't help that much. Sound still gets muffled when the phone is flat on its back. Let's open up the back cover. We'll have a peek inside. The back cover is a bit flimsy. It's a bit thin. It bends quite a lot, but not when on the phone, which really matters. So you can see right there you have two SIM card slots. It's a dual SIM phone. That's a full-size SIM card slot right there, and you have a micro SIM card slot. You have a micro SD card slot right there. Both SIM slots are 3G capable, but only one can use it at any given time. And then there's your 2000 mAh battery. It's a global ready phone on GSM. It's powered by the MediaTek MT6582M chipset clocked at 1.3 GHz, Mali 400MP2 GPU, 1 GB RAM and 4 GB ROM. The back cover fits in nicely. It feels quite good to hold in the hand as well. Both the buttons are easily reachable with your thumb. Coming to the front, you have a 4.7-inch IPS WVGA display that's 800 by 480 pixels. At the bottom, capacitive buttons which do have a backlight, but it's quite weak. At the top, you have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. You also have your main earpiece right there, proximity and light sensors, and you can also see the notification LED glowing green. It either glows green or red. Now coming back to the display, so it's a 4.7-inch IPS panel with 480 by 800 pixels resolution. It has very good viewing angles as well as color reproduction. Generally, it doesn't look pixelated at all. However, when you are browsing text as well as in gaming, some of the graphics do look a bit pixelated. I'll change some wallpapers so that you can see the color reproduction yourself. So you can see colors look quite accurate and vibrant as well. And moreover, there is no distortion in brightness or colors. Now this is the default dialer interface. You have a speed dial available here. It's the KitKat dialer from Google. I'll just show you the calling interface. We didn't have any issues with network retention. Speakerphone is quite loud and so is the earpiece. It's quite clear as well. So you can see you don't have an option to call record here. Now this is your call log interface. Nothing major here, but you can separate the call logs based on which SIM the call was made from. Now coming to tethering and hotspots, you can see your Wi-Fi hotspot, Bluetooth as well as USB tethering available here. But if you see the bottom, there is a bit of backlight bleed there, but generally that is not visible. Coming to dual SIM settings, you can choose which SIM card would be used for voice calls, video calls, messaging as well as data connection. Both SIM cards can use 3G networks, but only one at a time. You also have Wi-Fi Direct available on this phone, but it doesn't work that well. It is able to connect to a particular network, but sending files is too much of a chore. Now this is your default camera interface. As I said, we already have a separate camera review. I would recommend taking a look at that. So you can take HDR shots, you can switch to the front facing camera. You can also record videos at 1080p. Now this is the general settings menu. Nothing special here, a very simple to use interface. Now let's have a look at some of the samples. On the left normal, on the right HDR. The camera is able to take very good shots, especially for the price. You can see this macro shot as well. It's quite sharp, quite clear and good color reproduction. Here too, it's a daylight shot and you can still see the colors are quite accurate. Distant shots also turn out quite good. Now this is a comparison between the Moto E and the Unite 2. The Unite 2 on the right has clearly a far better image. This is a night shot on the right with flash and you can see it actually does work. All in all, this is a far better camera than the Moto E. Now this is your default headset that comes within the box. These actually don't sound that good. They look cheap as well. So if you want to listen to music, I would recommend getting your own pair of headsets. Sound does get muffled. You can hear that here as well. The back is almost flat, so it doesn't help. Getting to settings, you do have an equalizer right there. I'll just turn that on. Let's switch to a different preset. I'll select rock, and you can hear the difference here. The equalizer actually does work, but now I'll just turn that off so that you can hear the actual volume from the speakerphone. It's quite clear, it's quite loud. Now this is your FM radio interface. It's able to find channels very quickly. It also lists all the channels that you have. You can switch to a speakerphone and you can record FM as well by just tapping that button. Recordings will be saved in the default write disk that you have selected from storage. Now we are playing a 1080p video, and you can see it's absolutely flawless here. There are no issues with video playback. There is no jitter, and MP4, 3GP, MKV, AVI, most file formats are natively supported. Now we are playing YouTube video right here. It's our review of the Canvas Elanza 2. Have a listen.
Micromax Canvas Elanza 2A121. It's available for about
So there are no sync issues as well.
On the right of the device, you can
Video
see
playback
the
over YouTube is absolutely smooth. Coming to software, this launcher looks like the Google Now launcher that's available on Nexus devices. Let's get into settings now. We'll get into About. From here you can see it's the Micromax A106 running Android 4.4.2 KitKat right out of the box. You can see that right here as well, 4.4.2. It's the first phone from Micromax running Android 4.4.2 KitKat. You have the option of software updates available as well. Now getting into user profiles, you can customize it with the particular ringtones as well as whether you want vibration feedback. You can create your own profiles as well. Coming to display settings, you do have Daydream available here, and auto brightness is available on this phone too. It works quite well. Then you have a car screen option for wireless display. Coming to storage, you have 0.89 GB as phone storage, 1.67 GB as internal SD card. App and app data are movable to your external SD card. USB OTG is supported, but it does not work. You can see more in our features video. Coming to battery life, you can easily get more than 1.5 days with average use, which includes some light gaming, music and video playback as well as web browsing. You have GPS available on this phone. You can set it to high accuracy mode so that it locates within a few seconds. Coming to security, you can disable lock screen widgets. You have face unlock and voice unlock available other than pattern, pin and password as your lock screen options. Then you also have Android Device Manager so that you can find, erase or even ring your device in case it's lost. You have two new options available here. First one is Auto Start Management and App Permissions. In Auto Start Management, you can see which apps start up at boot time. You can enable or disable them. In App Permissions, you can see which apps use which particular permission. Then you can choose whether to allow them or deny that particular use. So that was all about settings. You do have cloud printing option, which is available in only KitKat. As I was saying, this launcher looks like the Google Now launcher available with Nexus devices. It looks really neat. It performs quite well. Not many apps come pre-installed, basic Google apps and some useless apps from Micromax. So you can long tap on the display to enter this interface where you can add widgets, or you can just tap on the menu key as well to change wallpapers, or if you want to add any widgets. So let's say I want to add a widget. You select the screen you want to add it to, and there you go. Very easy to use, very handy indeed. The recent apps list can be accessed by long tapping on the menu key and not the home button, as you see right there. Now long tapping on the home button actually opens up Google Now. So these are the different changes in this particular launcher. It's quite fluid to use. Now this is the Reveri Smart Pad. It's good to type on, but for some reason it always opens up in capital letters. So when you are typing, let's say a password, it would open up in capitals and then you have to change that particular option. It's always in capitals, as you see right there. Now the main advertising campaign behind the Unite 2 is that it supports 21 regional languages. So you see right there. So those are all the languages available. I've just switched to Hindi. Now I can just start typing. It has a Hindi dictionary built in as well. Now coming to web browsing, we have already loaded phonebunch.com. Our mobile website is loaded up. Scrolling is smooth. We'll just switch to our desktop website. You can see here too, scrolling is quite smooth. And so is the rendering. It's quite fast. Now let's see how pinch to zoom works. Pinch to zoom too is actually quite smooth here. The touch response is excellent on this display, even though it supports just 2 points of touch. You can even see the text quite clearly. Nokia Lumia 630 single SIM now available in India for Rs 10,500. So there are actually no issues with web browsing. And even in terms of general performance, we didn't have any hiccups with this device. Touch response remains excellent throughout. Apps open up very quickly, if you see right there. And even in terms of gameplay, we didn't have any issues. All games were lag free. But yes, this phone does get a bit hot while playing games, especially near the top of the display and near the back camera. The display performs brilliantly. There are no issues with viewing angles. It doesn't look pixelated and has good touch response too. But moreover, this phone has excellent build quality. The buttons might not provide that good of a travel, but it fits quite nicely in your hands and its weight is quite evenly distributed. At present, this phone is available for something between 7,500 and 8,000. At this price, it is an excellent competitor to the Moto E. So folks, that was a review of the Micromax Unite 2. You can watch its unboxing as well as gaming review from right here and the review of the Motorola Moto E. We'll be back with more. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching and have a great day.